love team. Well, yesterday was National 401k Day. How did you celebrate? With a party? With streamers? Did you read your statement? Or was it sackcloth and ashes?
Did you even know that there was a 401k day?
Who knew?
I did not know. I did not know there was a National 401k Day. So, but it's true. Check it out. Right here, Invest in You, National 401k Day. Apparently, it always falls the Friday after Labor Day.
Oh, okay.
So the Friday after Labor Day is National 401k Day, and that's when you can look at your statements and weep, or
not
shed tears of joy.
Oh, yeah.
One way or the other, right?
Uh-huh.
But guys, so we wanted to talk about 401ks today and give you the real deal, tell you some stuff that people aren't talking about and help you process this, because there is a real retirement crisis, and we want to help you make better decisions and do the right thing by your money and your family and your retirement. So this is going to be kind of just informal. We're just going to have a little conversation, go over some things that we've had. But I think you'll find this helpful, because most people aren't talking about this stuff.
Right.
You know, everybody is all about, oh, the 401k is awesome, and you need to, max out your 401k and this, that, and the other thing. And that's just not so.
Right.
Right. I mean, here's the deal. A 401k might not be the best thing for you.
Right.
And they call it personal finance for a reason, right? It's supposed to be personal.
Yeah.
So we don't want you doing what everybody else is doing just because they're doing it. That's what a lemming is. You know what I mean? Those little rodents, those little rats that all in a herd are charging, and they fall off the cliff and to their peril, right? We don't want to do that. And I love this quote by General George Patton. He says, if everyone is thinking alike, then someone isn't thinking. Right? So we do not want that to be said about us or you. Let's think about this and examine what's going on and make sure that you're doing the right thing for your family, for your situation, because you should not sock all your money away into a 401k plan. What happened was Ted Benna, who was he's considered the father of the 401k. He was a benefits consultant, and trying to figure out a solution for a client of his. And he thought that he could use this new provision, this new tax code, to adapt it and use it in a way that it wasn't intended.
Yes. And
that's in 1980, that's what happened. And that has become now the de facto, standard for retirement plans. Right. 401k. But it wasn't never designed for that.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy. It's funny how that happens, right? But let's take a look at this a little bit, okay? The point is, we got to think for ourselves. We can't do what everyone else is doing just because they're doing it. And we got to understand this. The game is rigged against you, right? I mean, we got Wall Street and mutual funds, and we got the government and taxes, and they're looking out for themselves, not so much for you, even though they might tell you that. So we got to be wise about this and really understand what's going on. So it was interesting. I was looking at a recent research report about retirement plans by the generations. Okay, so let's look at Gen Z and millennials and just the differences there really quick. And what jumped out at me. So some recent research is saying that about 66% of Gen Z workers are saving for retirement through a 401k or similar plan or outside the workplace.
Wow.
But so 66% are saving for retirement in some fashion or format, okay? And they started at age 19, is the median. That was like, way to go, guys. Like starting early is awesome. That help you benefit from the compounding effect of money. Those participating in a 401k plan contribute 20% of their annual pay.
Wow.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty good. But here's the flip side to that, all right? The Gen Z workers have saved $29,000 in retirement accounts, but have only $1,000 in an emergency fund, what we like to call your peace of mind account, right? Now, here's what's alarming. this research report says that 28% of Gen Zs have dipped into their retirement savings by taking a hardship withdrawal or early withdrawal from their 401k or similar IRA plan. And if you add that up, the other thing, I mean, people are changing jobs every 3 to 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Especially Gen Z and millennials. So you guys are changing jobs like every 3 or 4 years. Well, almost half of those 401k accounts get cashed out when you switch jobs.
Wow.
And so then you got half of them being cashed out. We got, 28% of them going in for hardship withdrawals. We got issues going on here. Now, if we look at the millennials, similar kind of a situation. Okay, we got 78% of millennials saving for retirement. They started at age 25, and they're participating. They're contributing 12%, not 20, but 12.
Wow.
But of course, they got more responsibilities. They got families and all that kind of stuff, right? So I can understand that a little bit. But here's their stats. So the millennials have saved $49,000. So you guys have got $49,000 in retirement. That's the median. Okay, so half have got more and half have got less. And you've only got $3,500 in an emergency savings account, which is not enough, right? I mean, the average deductible on a health insurance program
anymore is
$4,500 for an individual, right? And more for a family. So it's not enough cash. And you're about 24% have dipped into the retirement plans for hardship withdrawal. So I think we got priorities a little bit jacked up here, okay? And, it seems to me that we should be doing a little bit better job on the short-term savings and dealing with high interest rate debt than putting all that money into a retirement plan. Now, that's a broad brush stroke. I mean, that's an individual thing we got to take a look at. But for sure, if you've got a 401k plan at work and you're getting a matching contribution, I would put enough into your plan to at least get the full match. Like, don't miss out on any free money.
Always.
Right?
Right.
But then after that, we got to really evaluate if putting more money into your 401k is the best thing for you. Because I don't think it is. We got all these people cashing them out. We got all these, hardship withdrawals. We got all this high interest rate credit card debt. We got other issues going on. We don't have enough emergency funds. Another
thing that is happening with our 401ks is they're not taking them seriously. People aren't taking them seriously, and they're leaving them behind.
It's unbelievable. We did
forgotten.
Right? We did the video last week on this exact topic, and there's 29 million 401k plans that have been forgotten and left behind.
1.65 trillion bucks.
That's a lot of money, right? So that just says that we're maybe not taking this whole retirement investing thing seriously enough, or that we don't understand it well enough to be an actual effective and efficient investor, and we're just leaving it with somebody else. We got to take more responsibility.
I think it's that. I think it is lack of understanding, and I think that the thinking is somebody else is going to take care of it for me. I decided I'm going to have it matched, like you were giving me the illustration earlier. And then how is it managed? That's a whole nother topic.
Right.
But how your funds are managed is very interesting, or at least I thought it was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's the thing I want to go over, guys. So the 401k came out in 1980, right? We are not in 1980 anymore. Okay. So in 1980, if you look it up, we did not have $1 trillion yet in national debt.
Correct.
But now we have like 32 trillion. So there's a little bit of a difference there. Like ginormous, right? In 1980, the early 80s, interest rates were super high, like double digits.
Crazy.
You could put money in a CD and get like 12, 14% interest guaranteed, right? Mortgages were like 18% and higher.
Yeah.
Like that was a totally different time. And here's the big kicker, okay? The top marginal income tax bracket was like around 70%.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Could you imagine? So people were looking for a way to defer taxes into the future because they were paying such high rates. It was outrageous.
Wow.
But not even the worst. Like the highest rate was in World War II was 94%.
Oh.
Could you imagine? Guys, if you've not looked at it, you will be shocked at the income tax rates in the past. Like through the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, it was always above 70%. Always, okay? Right now, the world's different. We're in historically speaking, a low tax rate environment. So it makes no sense for the majority of people to defer paying taxes into the future because you're not burdened with a high income tax rate right now. We're in historically low rates. And because of the $32 trillion of debt, because of all these other issues, we are staring at much higher tax rates in the future. So the math does not work out. Like the math simply does not work. You don't defer taxes when they're low to push them off into the future when they're going to be much higher.
Right.
So this whole thing we've been sold about the tax advantage, the tax deduction, why people are doing this, that's not real right now. It's actually flipped. This is not the time to go take a tax deduction for most people.
Right.
Okay. And so that's why the traditional 401k plan is not the right thing to be doing for most people right now.
Right.
Because it's just backwards from a tax standpoint. So you got to check and see, is there an option where you work for a Roth 401k? Now that would be a different situation altogether because it gives you an opportunity to save for retirement, right? It's super easy. It's automated, all that kind of stuff. And you pay the tax now. No big deal. You're already doing that. And it lets you then grow your money in a Roth 401k, which will be tax-free forever.
Wow.
Dramatically different, right? So we've got to change our thinking based on the new environment and the new circumstances, right? It's about the cost of money. It's about your income tax rates now and what are they going to be in the future. We got to look at this. We got to change it up. So I think for the vast majority of people, the Roth 401k is going to be the best option. But don't overfund it. And by that, I mean, don't put more into it than what you're going to, what you need to get the maximum employer match. Okay. I just think
why
you're giving up too much control of your money. There's too many rules and regulations and restrictions and limitations. And I don't like it. It's set it and forget it. And the investment options, you don't have control over, and you don't have control over the fees. And there's just way too many problems from that standpoint. And I want you to be an educated, person, investor, and make the best decisions for you and your family. And the whole system is set up on accumulation, right? On scrimp and save and defer. And someday, one day, you'll have enough money because of the magic of compound interest. Okay. Well, the compounding effect of money is going to take you 30 plus years to really get the benefit of it. Right. And here, this is spoiler alert. Okay. It's not the fastest way to grow money. It's not the fastest way to grow wealth. But it serves the purposes of Wall Street so that you put all your money there and leave it with them for decades and decades so that they can skim 1.5 to 3 or 4% off the top every single year. Regardless whether you make money or not. Right. It serves their purposes. I mean, it's a great story. The compounding effect of money is real and it's awesome, but it's not the best for everybody in every situation. There's actually a better way, and people aren't talking about it. Well, there's a couple, but not big voices. But we'll talk about it. It's the velocity of money, right? On an economic standpoint, there's a formula. People are looking at these numbers. It's the GDP divided by the money supply, but it also impacts personal finances, and it'll make a huge difference. And it's a mind shift. Instead of a rate of return, we're going to be looking on how soon can I get my money returned, right? It's how long does it take until I get my money returned to me from this investment so I can take that same money and invest it somewhere else. Right? We're going to have more topics, more videos on this in the future because it's way better for you to accumulate wealth faster. And especially if you've been delayed and you haven't started investing and you're in your 40s or 50s, you don't have time for compounding to work. So you've got to go with the velocity of money philosophy. And we're going to have fun going over that with you. But
that's good.
I think that's enough for today, guys. Traditional 401k, Yeah. We got to be smarter about this. Don't be a financial lemming. Don't just do what everybody's doing. Don't do what the HR person says. You got to, and you can change
good
it.
questions, right?
Right. Just because you've been doing it doesn't mean you can't stop.
Correct.
You can stop your traditional 401k and start up a Roth 401k and keep the money there. I mean, you can do things. You have some power and control over this. We just need to, coach you through, this process and make sure you're making the best right decision for your family.
That's good.
All right. We're going to put a link for the video we did last week or the other week talking about the 401k, so you can check that out too. But guys, we would love it if you would give us a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, drop us a comment, let us know. If you've got questions, reach out to us, let us know. We're here to help. We want to help you make the best right decision. And man, it's about winning your money game, right? And becoming financially free. And
next September, you can celebrate.
Yeah, could you imagine next year at this time when it's National 401k Day, you'll have something else to celebrate.
Woo!
Maybe we'll build up to it next year because we know now. We didn't know until yesterday.
So funny.
Crazy. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week. Bye.